I'm definitely more confident on mid.
Gotcha. Okay. So, looking at your notes, why are you here today? Looks like you are really close to Immortal and you are looking to break the 50-50 win rate.
Yeah, I don't understand what is about 50-50. What
Are you
this mean?
are you saying that you feel like what do you not understand about it?
Literally everything. Like for me, when I speak to Jacob, I was like, I don't care about winning, just about improving. I didn't speak about 50-50 thing.
Oh. Okay, that must be a misunderstanding in the notes. Okay. Oh, yes. You having less time in Dota, so you want to be more intentional about your time when you do it.
Yeah.
And then your general goal for the session is to achieve a specific question to ask yourself to improve on your weaknesses. Yeah, I think we can
Yeah.
always give at least one question. I try to go for at least one, two, or three, ideally, if we can get there. Do you want to start with the replay that you sent me, the Spectre one, or is there a different one you want to start with?
Actually, it's pretty funny because I was listening to the Dojo live class, the record.
Yeah.
And I send you a replay about Luna. And you found out one of my weaknesses is about I have some struggle to concentrate, and I feel like I miss so much information on the map. So I was wondering, this replay might be the same, but I didn't pay attention about it. And I think it's one of my common mistakes on every game any hero has a hard carry play.
Okay.
So I guess we can watch this game because I'm really curious if I missed something on that. The problem with this game is I was going I wanted to fight a lot, but I communicate a lot also, and I said to my teammate, "Go fight, go fight, go fight," and yeah, they didn't answer me, but I should pay more attention about what they are doing in real time. And most of the time when I do this, I struggle on what I'm doing. Like I'm not good for doing multiple things in the same time.
How often would you say you're concentrating on like what your team is doing? Like meaning like I think they should be doing this, or I'd like them to be doing this, stuff like that. Like hypothetical stuff.
Uh, Can you repeat?
Yeah. I'm wondering it may be the answer may be zero. I'm just wondering how often you think about the things your teammates like should be doing or that you want them to be doing.
Usually I think about it in drafting. Then I don't pay attention. And when I have timing, I will pay attention to them.
I see. Gotcha. Okay.
So maybe 50%.
Gotcha. Okay. Start to the lane.
I miss so much.
Yeah, just not the greatest CSing. Pretty much the only
Yeah,
thing we can say so far, which adds up a lot.
feels really bad.
Spectre is pretty awful at level 1 though.
Yeah, Spectre have no damage. And I take no damage items.
Yeah, so what's interesting that I've noticed in Dota in general is that when you have this situation happen right here, so this creep is effectively you being held hostage on it. That's how I look at this creep. So when this creep starts getting hit, right now, they are holding you hostage. So what that means is that if you want this creep, you have to be close enough to it to walk up to it and last hit it by the time
Yeah.
it's going to die, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what happens here is that if you are like, this is something that most 5K players are like very aware of, right? So what good 5K players will do is the second you walk forward, they're just going to pull the creeps off like this. When they do that, that means you're allowed to back off because the timer in which this is going to take to die has now been drastically extended because he's pulling these creeps off. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
So this is a situation where as long as we're aware we're being held hostage because of the time that this creep is going to die, the second that they defensive aggro off of it or pull creeps off of it, we are now supposed to back off. Then what prevents is us walking up, taking like 3 right clicks, using a spell, and missing the last hit. Like, it's really important to avoid using spells to get out of a bad situation. Do you see what I mean? You're like, I'm locked onto this creep. I need to get this. I need to use my dagger to get out of here faster. It's much more impactful to notice these situations, what creates them, and then not get ourselves in the situation. So that happens every time there's a range creep. And there's like a little dance that you're going to be playing with the opponent. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, just something. First thing I've noticed. Let's keep going. You seem to AFK a lot, like where you're just literally standing still. Wonder what if you know what's going on there. Okay, you get a kill. Okay. Okay. So there's like a clear... So the way I'm thinking here is that I need to be... When people die in lane, I want the lane to look the way that I want it to look by the time that they're alive. So that either means that I'm keeping the lane equilibrium close to my tower, or I push it out and then go pull, or that I defensive aggro so that I'm not fighting them when the guy is alive. So, like, this is a moment where I'm thinking, like, why is he not defensive aggroing? Why is he out here still? Because Disruptor's respawning. Like, that's what I'm thinking. And then you defensive aggro, and what I would want you to do here is then defensive aggro again, like right now. But this is all because Disruptor's respawning. And so then we just kind of CS casually. And then we die. I'm gonna keep working on it because you said like you're struggling to pick up information, so or like pay attention to information in the game. So this is like a perfect. This is the first example of, you know, every time in lane somebody dies, I'm consciously trying to think, what is their respawn timer, and do I want to fight them or not? And so if I don't want to fight them, then what am I doing? Am I defensive aggroing? Am I pushing the lane and pulling? Like, what are my options? And I just try to make sure I'm consciously choosing to be in a fight or not by the time that they respawn and come back to lane. So that's number 1. Let's keep going. There is so much random AFKing by you. Is this just like busy or keyboard malfunction?
This is not a good. I was not. I was sick. Yeah, actually, I don't know how to translate it. There is a problem in my house, and I was sick.
Ah, I see. Okay. Well, we're not going to worry about it too much.
I was not totally focused on the game.
I see. I would say to you then, based on just preliminarily, that I think one of the first questions I would ask anybody who tells me that they're struggling to gather information is how often would you say that you are able to dedicate 100% of your focus in the middle of a Dota game?
Mm, actually, I don't know.
Like, how often would you say you play in this, like, maybe this is like an extreme example where you're very distracted, but like, how often would you say you play distracted?
Oh, it's not usually the case.
Okay. So this isn't a common problem?
Oh no, it's not a common problem.
Okay. Just checking in. Okay. Question. Why did you decide to TB bottom here?
Hmm. I think it's autopilot. Just that.
So
No,
what is
not
your goal in the game right now?
getting creeps, lane on the creeps.
Okay. So
I just want to stay on lane as much as I can.
your goal is to get creeps.
Yeah.
So to get creeps, we want to be ideally in a lane, and we want to be away from our teammates because teammates take creeps, right?
Yeah. Yeah, mid is better, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't have too much else to say than I ask people this question and they give some sort of, I want to stay in lane, this is my lane, that kind of stuff. And I just tell them your goal is to get creeps, and to get creeps, you need to be away from teammates. So if your goal is
Yeah.
to get creeps, you need to find a
So
lane away from teammates.
that's something I usually do. I think I was too much distracted this game.
Okay.
But actually I didn't even remember the Zeus was here.
Hmm. I'll
But
tell you for coaching's sake, because I want you to get the most out of your hour. If the reason that you're going to do this stuff in this game is because you're distracted, I don't think I'm going to be able to help you very much. Because the majority of mistakes, if I'm not like upset or anything, it's just like I can't help you very much if that's the reason. Because then my
yeah, I
answer
see.
is don't be distracted.
Of course.
So so my question is, would you like to move to a different game where you feel like you were more locked in? And there's going to be a different
Mm,
reason. Or what would you like to do? I can also just skip past every mistake that you think is distraction, but there's only so much I can teach you there because then we're just going to be filtering through mistakes. Is what I feel like. Up to you. I mean, I'm trying to
yeah.
figure out how to best give you most
Yeah,
impactful hour.
yeah, I don't take it personally. Um I don't know. Maybe we can because this game was a lot about this. But I picked this one because it's a lose, if I remember.
Yeah.
It was close game.
Would you like me to just keep watching the game? That's fine too.
Yeah, we can go in.
Okay. Okay, so we're farming up the radiance. Hmm. Yeah, for me, we're either consciously investing in being strong or we are not trying to do strong things. So like for me, trying to solo kill somebody is like a strong thing.
Yeah.
Um so, my thought for you is you're either buying like a Falcon Blade or like an urn and TPing base with full health, full mana, and then using an item that helps you kill the guy, or you just farm. So for me, you're building to farm and then trying to fight. So I always draw attention to when people's builds don't line up with what they're doing in the game. If you let me have a question, let me know. I'll keep going otherwise.
Yeah, I feel like when I have ulti, I should use it. Even if I don't go with the mates.
Why is that? Like, what is your thought about that? Like, why, I guess elaborate is what I'm asking.
Mm,
Tell me more.
okay. So most of the time, I don't like to be like just farming. I want to be still useful with my teammates.
I see.
So I feel really bad when I look at the map right now. I'm just behind, not on lanes, just farming the woods. I don't like this,
Hmm.
even if I should do this.
Then why
So
are
I
you
always
playing
try.
Spectre, rushing a Radiance? That seems like
Yeah,
a playstyle mismatch, my friend.
yes, I agree, and that's why I struggle on safe lane. I try to search something I fit about,
So you like
and
to have early to mid game presence in the game, is what you're saying.
I think it's more for me, yes.
Okay. Then I will
But
tell
when
you.
it didn't work, I feel more bad.
Okay. I mean, I can relate to this. I'm not much of a hard farmer hero myself. Um,
Yeah,
I mean, then if you're looking to be more active and you're talking about finding a comfortable hero pool for you, then Spectre rushing a Radiance is about the complete opposite of that. Uh, so,
yeah.
um, I would just say
But
that I
even
understand.
with Earn,
Go ahead.
it's the same. I think.
What?
I think even with Earn or like Set Falcon Blade, it's the same.
Yeah,
It's
what
not
I'm
that
saying though is like
difficult.
if I'm trying to be active in the game, I'm going to buy items that allow me to be active, and if I'm buying items that don't allow me to be active, then I'm not going to be active. So, for me, I'm looking at like it's funny because so many people try to act like Dota is just like a numbers game and stuff. It's mainly an emotional game, and I hear people making mistakes because they're saying I just felt bad not doing anything there, and then I'm like, okay, well, we need to learn why you felt bad. So for me,
Mm.
um, it does feel bad to not be active in the game, but then the reason why for me that this type of stuff feels bad is because I don't understand why I'm consciously doing it. Like I'm not choosing consciously to do it. So then it feels wrong. But when I'm like, okay, I'm a late game carry and I'm rushing Radiance, it's okay if I'm not doing anything in the game right now. And then I might still haunt and kill a guy, but it's not for like a solo kill. It's like, oh, the guy has like 200 HP and it's like a free quick kill real quick. But it's for me, the concern is that you feel bad by playing the hero the way that you built it. Does that, do you see what I'm saying?
Mm. Yeah, I see.
Now, we can adjust by giving you a different hero pool and building different items. Like, that's fine too. But I also think that that's kind of running away from the problem to like some degree. Um,
I agree.
So like I'd rather, talk about why it feels bad to not have any impact because that's kind of the nature of Dota, right? Is the less impact you have early, the more implied impact you'll have later. Like that's kind of like, the
Yeah,
nature of Dota. So
I agree.
Inspector has been reverted effectively to a late game carry. So um, I guess what I'm trying to say is I can understand why you feel bad, but and not to be dismissive, but you also have no reason to feel bad. Right? Like, meaning you're playing the hero according to how it's meant to be played to some degree. So, I guess that's just food for thought. If you have questions or thoughts about that, I'm happy to discuss more. But, for me, that's the concern when I hear what you're saying.
Mm.
Yeah, but right now you've resumed farming. You're playing chill. You're gonna go to lane, finish your radiance. You're gonna What are you doing here? Okay, you're asking for the
I feel
wave. Yeah, that's fine.
maybe I have this problem because I'm not playing Spectre that much,
Hmm.
and I don't have the feeling of I should not do that right now in this way.
Yeah, you might be accustomed to being active in the mid game, so you feel off by adjusting to specifically Spectre. That could definitely, I can relate to that. I think that could definitely explain it. I understand. I mean, this is just another one of those circumstances where you're trying to aggressively bully a guy on the map before your timing. It's like, I understand Ricky's there, but like this is just kind of the price you pay for having the items you have. And we just have to be careful of over participating.
I don't know. In this specific situation, I don't know what to do with my position. I maybe I should just farm the small camp on the river.
So, your goal is to hit creeps, right? So you're hitting creeps, your teammates come join you, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go bottom because there's a wave down there. The problem is that you have a guy down there that's farming. So for me, what I would do right now is I'd go hit these two camps because they're camps that are right next to me. And then I would farm backwards to these two camps. And
That's funny because you said someone's farming here. I was not aware of that. That right now I'm aware, but during the game I was not. I was thinking about he wanted to wait someone to kill, not farming. Do you see what I mean?
so are you saying you're trying to connect to him to kill, or are you saying that because you think he's trying to kill, that if you're trying to farm, you're going to take the wave? Is that what you're saying?
No, I think when I was on the game, I saw the creeps, but not my teammates. Not checking what he's doing.
I
So
see.
I was just like, I will say I was brain dead, just wanting to eat creeps. And like I said, I should take more information in real time.
Yeah, then it sounds like this is the similar thing to what I pointed out in your Luna replay, right? Like,
Yeah,
this is the same problem. So,
yeah,
going into this game, you told me you were distracted, like in this particular game. And
yeah. Here is not about distraction.
yeah,
Here,
it's just a common problem, right? Like, this is not unique to this game. Um, so I guess ignoring the distractions that are happening in this given game, what is generally going through your head at this moment in the game?
mm, I cannot say honestly because it's too far away.
Like, you don't
But
remember, you mean, or
no, I don't remember.
okay?
I think I think really I was just wanted to to eat waves. I didn't think about the map overhaul.
The way that I try to explain things to people is that we all have like an instinct, right? We all have like a Dota instinct that we've
Yeah.
trained over time. And that instinct, if not honed over time, that's how we get to a static state. But like obviously you have like a 5k level instinct. Like that's pretty good, right? So if you're not consciously trying to think about something you've never thought about before, you're a solid 5k player, and that's going to be good enough for that, right? So the way I try to describe things, and maybe you've heard it before since you've been in my classes and stuff, it's like we need to give you something to think about that you're not currently thinking about. And so for me, if you're farming, definitely to be like above 5k, you have to be aware of where your teammates are. Like, this is definitely really important because the game becomes a puzzle of not only where is the farm that's most available that I want, but also where are my teammates. So the last thing we ever want in Dota is for two cores to be sitting right next to each other when they're both trying to farm. That's like really inefficient. And whenever I see cores on the map, if I'm trying to farm, then I don't want to be near them even if they are going for a kill because I don't want to be there either. So it doesn't really matter like what their intention is, right? Like it doesn't matter really what they're trying to do in the game. It's just that if I'm trying to fight, I'm trying to go towards my teammates most of the time. Maybe Spectre's different, of course, because of Haunt and everything. But if I'm trying not to fight, then I try to stay away from my teammates. So I either view them as magnets that are pulling me towards them because I want to fight, or magnets that are like repelling me. So like right now, as I'm trying to farm, I'm thinking of my teammates like repel magnets. So like they're going this way, so I'm gonna go this way. And I see this guy down here, so it's like these two camps are here, then these two camps are gonna be here. Nobody's over here, nobody's taking mid-wave if this continues to push in. Like that's like I'm thinking about where they aren't. Because we don't want to be near our teammates when we're farming. And that's like probably one of the most crucial things. And this is like a very black and white situation, meaning like there are times where you're kind of able to fight, but you're also farming. In this case, you're like a Spectre, 1,000 gold off Radiance, don't have Haunt. This is like a very black and white. We don't want to be fighting right now. And if we don't want to be fighting right now, then what I'm trying to explain is that if you walk towards teammates, you're inevitably going to get baited into shit like this. Right here. Because you're just near teammates. Like, that's it. You're just going to be likely to be fighting when you aren't really consciously thinking about it. So I don't really care about this individual decision. It's the putting yourself near your teammates when you're trying to farm. So I know that you're saying you're not even aware that the Zeus was there. Like you're not consciously noticing that he's there. So it's not like an intentional thing for you to go be near Zeus. But so what I'm looking at is your core issue is when you are looking to farm, our goal is not creeps. Like, so like right now your priority is I want to hit creeps. So I'm going to go to the creeps that are like most efficient. That's like what you're thinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you are looking to farm, current perspective, so like current goal, go to most efficient creeps. A lot of times, the way that I've been explaining... Okay, have you ever played Slay the Spire?
No.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna explain it to you in a relevant way, though. So do you know what the game is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard about.
Okay, so it's like a deck builder, and every time you beat it, you unlock a new difficulty. And what the difficulty does is like, oh, the enemies have slightly more health, or the enemies have slightly more damage, or items you want to buy cost a bit more. And the whole thing about that game is as you advance in the difficulties, you are trying to replicate the exact same thing with constraints. Right? It's like, oh, I now have to be more careful with what I spend money on. Oh, now I have to be a bit more defensive because they do more damage, but I still have to beat them. Do you see what I mean? It's like adding a constraint as you up the difficulty. And that's actually how I view Dota past like 2K. 2K, you're basically like up until about 2K, we're teaching people like, here's the fundamentals of Dota. At around 2K, there's no like hard cutoff, but around 2K, I'm now telling you, you're trying to replicate the same thing you were doing before, but we need to add a constraint to what you're doing. So in your example, you're trying to be efficient. You're trying to get creeps to farm your Radiance. I'm now telling you the constraint is stay away from your teammates. Does that make sense?
Okay, got it. Yeah, totally.
Okay. So right now, your current goal is to go for the most efficient creeps. Added constraint. Stay away from teammates when in mode farm. So you now have to think, what creeps are the most efficient that are not near teammates? So then when you check a creep wave, thinking, I'm going to go farm that, we need to add a second check, effectively, that says, is there a teammate there, or is there a teammate going there? You know, like if Zeus was like farming right here and then walking to this camp, it's like the same thing. You're like yoinking his farm because he's like naturally farming his way there. Do you see what I mean?
No.
Okay. So if you're farming, but you were top right here. Right now, it's not, this is maybe like a step too far, But like what I'm trying to show you is these guys are all walking this way, right? This guy is walking this way. You see that?
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
means this area is off limits. That means this area is off limits, like because that's near teammates. That's where they're going.
Yeah.
So it's not just physically where they are, but you can also pay attention to where they're going. So like this, like basically I look at this and I'm thinking this area is not where I want to farm because this guy's doing this. This area is not where I want to farm because this guy's doing this. So I'm trying to elaborate a bit on how you want to view your teammates. So like right now, I see them all walking that way. I see nobody walking towards these camps. So I think right now your two options are these camps or these camps because there's nobody walking to either of these. Right?
I think triangle is better.
Yeah, it could be. If I'm looking at progress for you, if you go to any camp that's not with teammates, that's a win. Like,
Okay.
I trust your 5K instinct to adjust over time, meaning like you'll choose the more optimal play because that's what you've been doing, right? You've learned to be an efficient farmer. So we're just adding the constraint of, okay, out of all of the options that don't have a teammate there, what is the most efficient? And I do agree in this exact instance, when I rewind it, it actually is better for you to go Ancients right now.
I think it's a good way for me to pay attention more.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the goal that I'm trying to show people is that it's a change in playstyle, but it's like a tweak to what you're doing, but it's not a huge difference, but it's going to have massive implications because if you're like with the way you're playing right now, you're going to kind of subconsciously find yourself in fights you don't want to be in.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then if you're strong and you want to fight, what may end up happening in some of your games is that you're farming away from your team when you're not really thinking about it. So the opposite is when you want to fight. So like I'm just gonna put in the notes here.
Yeah, I have to be close to them.
Yeah, when you want to fight, look I'll just say look to farm in a way that connects you to them. So like in this example, say you wanted to fight, then I would farm these two camps and then go through the portal. Or I would walk like this.
My portal?
Yeah, I'm saying like, okay, if you want to fight with Zeus, you would do these two camps and then go through portal. If you want to fight with these guys, then I would walk over here and farm this camp and then probably farm these two camps when they respawn, and I'm just near these guys. Do you see what I mean? Like, I'm just near them. I'm still farming, though. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's just a point of like where, in the class that I just did, the Ursa was #1 net worth, and he had like Blink, Basher, Battle Fury. All of his teammates had their cooldowns, and he TP'd away from them to farm somewhere else. That's like the opposite problem of what I'm seeing here.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. And he was a similar rank. He was like 4,500 or something. So like similar-ish rank. So yeah, it's about instituting this like consciously near our teammates or away from our teammates. And so we're just adding that layer for you. And it's a pretty complex layer in the sense that there's a lot to it, but basically how I try to explain it is you needed to be an efficient farmer without this layer to be able to now have this layer. Does that make to like be good enough to have this problem? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Any questions or
we can maybe you want to go more about this game?
We can go to a different game if you'd like. Otherwise, I'm happy to fast forward through more of this game. What would you like?
Because I think that's pretty okay. A
If
lot
you
of works just doing that.
What's up?
But there is yeah. Sorry for my English. I
It's fine.
struggle. Just the thing you explained me, like being close to my mates when I want to fight, or being out of my mates when I want to farm. This is a huge one for me, I guess. But the next step is I struggle as carry to know, even with heroes I play a lot, I struggle to know right now I'm strong, I want to fight.
Okay. Is that something you're
And
wanting to watch a different game for? Or are you wanting to fast forward in this game? What would you like to do to help with that question?
I mean, in this game, with Spectre, I feel like even with Radiance, I still don't want to fight.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, so oftentimes, do you want me to watch this? I can watch this game somewhat on fast forward and tell you when I would want
Yeah,
to
yeah,
fight. Does that sound like a
yeah.
good way
Let's
to
go.
help?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, I'm going to kind of give you my perspective based on that lens of when you want to fight or not and why. So we're going to fast forward through this part because we already saw it. We're going to get to our Radiance. Generally speaking, with Radiance, it enables us to show up to fights, but we still would rather be farming.
For
That's
me,
how... Yeah.
it's more about farming items.
Yeah. Radiance is a lot about accelerating us to the next item, so you're going to retreat farm. That works for me. You're going to do some shit there. You're going to probably go left. I'm definitely in... Oh, you went right. Interesting. So this is a moment where we always want to get the maximum amount of camps per minute. So like right now, like out of each minute mark. So right now, I could probably make it to this camp in time. It's at least close. So I would go to these two camps and then come back to these two camps. Like that's what I would be doing right now. But then
I
you
think
walk...
I was thinking about the lane bot. Yeah.
I actually don't hate that. That's fine. So you then Radiance in... Okay. You know what? I'm fine with what you just did.
This TP might be bad.
Interestingly enough, you tell me you really like lane creeps that are available. Look at the lanes. This would be... I would love to see... So when you're low resources, I want you to think that your goal is to start as far up on the map as possible and then farm backwards. Because the last thing we want to
Yeah.
do is be walking towards them when we're low.
Yeah.
So if you were full HP here, it might be better that you TP here and run out like this and let one of your like low HP, low resources heroes take this one. Does that make sense?
Okay. That makes sense, but for me, going mid is more dangerous than going bot.
Nah, it's about walking forward and walking back. That's all it is. See? You walked forwards. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I should have not TP, or I should just farming back like on the top river.
Okay, so your current perspective, as I understand it, is certain areas of the map are more dangerous than others. You just told me that mid lane is dangerous. That's what you think, right?
Yeah.
Walking... so current perspective... okay, wait. Regarding danger levels of areas. That's like the subject. Current perspective. Certain areas are more dangerous than others. We're going to flip that to a new perspective. Walking towards them is dangerous. Walking away from them is safer. So TPing here and then walking like this is safer than TPing here and walking like this. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions about that?
Nope.
So a lot of times the things you say, like the perspectives that people have are rooted in truth. On average, mid lane is more dangerous than bottom lane. That is something you've learned over time. There is truth to it. Okay? So it's not like that's just wrong. We are now like one thing that is a way of leveling up your MMR is to add constraints to things you're doing. So that means like factoring in your teammates or opponent heroes and stuff like this. But another way is to enhance something that's already correct to cover more circumstances accurately. So I would say, for instance, 80 to 90% of the time, mid lane is more dangerous than bottom lane. right? It's a large percentage. But
Yeah.
in general, like 97% of the time, it's more dangerous to walk forward on the map than it is to walk backwards. So that's like a more accurate way to do the same thing. Does that make sense?
That's really interesting. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because it's always important, and I in the past I haven't been the best at reminding people or making sure assuring them of this. There is truth in what you're saying. It's going to be correct some percentage of the time. So I just need to give you something that's more correct a more percent of the time.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Cool, man. Okay. Let's go on to the next part here. Your team is fighting. You don't have ult, so we're being chillin'. You're looking at the fight. You're bullying PA out. I can actually see what you were doing here. I think you thought you were like, that's just a matchup thing. And I think the time you died to him first kind of led to the second one. That's not as much about team fighting or not. That's a separate thing of how do I match up against heroes on the map? It looked like you thought you could bully him and then he killed you. So that's just a misgauge of the matchup. And that just takes time to learn. So like right here, since I'm Spectre and I want to fight, I would actually be purposely farming away from my teammates. What's interesting here is by you not farming away from your teammates, meaning you have TP scroll available and there's 2 heroes dead, by not farming over here, it's actually going to create one of your teammates going over there because there needs to be some sort of balance on the map of how many heroes are farming where. So by you never going here, somebody else is going to go there. That's just what's going to happen. So sometimes maybe you feel like it's too dangerous to go there because PA has been killing you, which if that's the case, then it just is what it is. I'm just letting you know that if you don't go there away from your teammates, because Spectre specifically is a bit different. You actually want to go away from your teammates when you want to fight because you have Haunt. But, it's if you didn't have Haunt and you do want to fight, then, this wouldn't apply. But for the record, what's the common theme here? I'm actually going to save this timestamp. Give me a second here. It's been a very common theme. Setting up. Looking to be able to fight. There we go. Give me a second. I'm going to extend your coaching session by the time it takes me to do this. 26 minutes.
Yeah, don't worry.
And then I just need to I'm mind palancing right now. Just 1 second here. Okay. So what I've been trying to tell people is that there's a big difference. So you're talking about, your question you asked me was, you mentioned that you don't really know like when you want to fight, right? And so my question for you right now, let's ignore wanting to fight. Let's change this question to, are you able to fight? Like, would you have a non-zero amount of impact in fights right now?
No.
I think by you pressing Haunt, that's some sort of impact.
That's huge. Yeah.
Right? So with that in mind, we want to be doing things. If we are strong enough to be able to fight, like whatever our ability cooldowns are, we would be thinking, if there was a fight that happened right now, I wouldn't be fucking useless. Like, that's how I think about it, right? Rather than I want to fight right now. There's a big difference. And the majority of the time in the game that I think people are making mistakes are when they could fight, but they aren't enabling themselves to be able to fight. So an example here is on Spectre, you would TP away from your team because if you don't farm away from your team, somebody else is going to go clear the lane and then your team can't group up now.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because if I'm out and they are together, then I can ulti. We are 5 to fight.
Yeah, because like, so imagine you swap with Zeus right now. You're here, and he like walked through bottom, and he's like farming these camps. Right?
Yeah,
Suddenly,
that
there's
makes
like a
so much
fight that
sense.
happens here. You know, like a 5v5 that you guys set up, or maybe you guys go Roche or something because whatever. Just the point is there's the ability to BS5. And every hero has like a different role in this, right? Meaning like every game, every hero has a different role in this. And it's just a matter of that's the formula we're trying to solve. How do we make it happen? And so obviously in your case, Spectre's very nuanced. You would actually, go there. It's like if you were Luna, what you would have done while Zeus was dead. Say you guys are ready to fight. If you were Luna right now, you would TP top right now. You would summon Manta, send it down the lane, and then you would farm like this.
Gates. Oh, okay.
Like you would just go back towards your team. Do you see what I mean?
I will have take the gates.
So the thing is by going this way, you're telling me that whoever you run into over here, you're fine. If that's the case, then that's fine. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
So that is a more dangerous route. So that's just game dependent. But honestly, because he's dead for 26 seconds, I want to take my sweet ass time. Like I'm not looking to be back with my team like TP here, 5 seconds later, go through the gate and be with my team. I'm looking to be with my team in 26 seconds. You see what I mean? Not even, it's more like 35 seconds because he still has to like get out of base and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that I'm just giving an example of every hero will do this differently, but there's just a formula for when my teammates are dead, when we're able to fight. Let's just make it so we can.
This is something I will try to put in every hero I play.
Yeah, awesome. Fantastic. I'd be curious to see how it goes. Let's keep going. So yeah, what sucks here is that we could fight, but then Zeus is like top and we're bottom with our team and we're the global guy. Yeah, so this feels bad as Spectre to be like near the team and Zeus is just not. That feels really awful. So this is like a predictably bad thing that's going to happen, right? Just based on what I was saying earlier. It's so
after what we say, that's pretty predictable.
Yeah, so the goal is to draw awareness to this type of stuff so that when it happens, you can learn from it. You're like, oh, why were we 4v5 there? And then you could, whenever that happens to you, where you're like, I feel like we should have had more heroes, or I feel like that fight should have gone better. Like, you don't even have to know why. That just means if you feel that way, rewind 5 minutes or 3 minutes or 2 minutes and just kind of watch your own map movements and look for a moment where you might have made it difficult for your team to group up. Do you see what I mean?
No, I didn't get that.
Okay. Basically, what I'm trying to say is when you end up in these awkward fights, like that one, where you lost it, there's often going to be a time where if you go back in the game, that you missed an opportunity to allow your team to group up. In this case, it was by TPing top such that Zeus could go bottom.
Oh, you mean if I watch the replay?
Yeah, I'm saying watch the replay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, not in the middle of the game. Yeah. No. I'm saying that for you to learn from this meaningfully, the vibe check you need to have in the game is like, I feel like we should have had more heroes there. Or like, I feel like we should have been ready for that. Or like, I feel like we weren't ready for that. Something like that. And I can guarantee you something happened in there, and it was potentially you that made that difficult. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, and so I try to teach people that there's a time for learning. During the game, we just need to have you detect things. We don't need you to learn this shit in the game. And then you learn it by, like, reviewing it afterwards. I detected this. What did I see? That kind of stuff. And it makes it so it's
really better.
What's up?
This fight feels really better.
Yeah, because they were all together and you were on the opposite side of the map. And, yeah, Spectre things. A lot better. Okay. Keep going here. So yeah, we're farming backwards. There's a wave. We're being efficient. We're getting the next wave. We're going to keep farming away from our team. Fantastic. Ultra efficient farming. We love it. We're going to keep working our way towards bottom lane. Keep going. Going to go to the maybe bottom of the map. This is a little scary because we're walking forward on the map right now. See, this is really scary. You had Haunt. So like right now,
I want to go top.
no, what I'm saying to you is that you're the worst target to get gone on ever, right? Because
Yeah.
you're the guy that saves the guy that gets gone on, or like counter initiates the guy that gets
Yeah.
gone on, right? So I want you to see that on the map right now, you're vulnerable to getting ganked. Like if they were ganking, they could just be killing you right now. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So in this case, I would have, rather than you going from here to here, I would have wanted you to go from here, like over here, and then back. The difference here, when you're asking me, how do I know where to go? Don't walk forwards when you don't see anybody. So like right now, they all went missing just now.
So I just go back.
So you just need to walk backwards. And the backwards is not defined as towards your base or not. It's defined as where did you last see them? Walk the opposite direction. So you last saw them here. So if we draw, we do some geometry, we draw a straight line like over here, then your line would be like this. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's how we avoid unnecessary deaths when we don't want to be the target of ganks. This is an example where it looks like they didn't kill you. But it's important. It's like possible, right?
Yeah, it's possible.
So, okay, you killed a disruptor. Fantastic. BKBs are running low. Oh, satanic. Yikes. Okay, nice kiting. Yeah, and well played, well played. Okay. And now you're going to TP top. I believe in you. TP top, TP top. No. Oh, no, not this. Oh, my God. Oh, man. So, I understand.
It's a shame.
I'm just telling
No,
you,
it's a shame.
even if you're full HP, just look at this, man. Oh, it's so juicy. This guy's dead for 70 seconds. If you really want the Tormentor, just do this and go back to the Tormentor. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a shame.
It's just the creep waves. It's all the creep. Like, I honestly didn't even consider Tormentor. It's just creep waves. So it's like, it's a blasphemy that there's fucking 4 range creeps dying underneath tower here.
It's bad watching this.
Yeah. The thing is that I get that, like, maybe if Veno was there, we would have killed it. But for me, it's so funny. Like, I just know when you ignore that creep wave, that bad things are going to happen. Like, I just know it. Like, it's just like, there's a creep wave. So go kill it. Number 1 objective in the game, creep waves. Okay, wait, what happened here? Maybe a bit of impatience. What occurred here? Okay.
I think it's this.
So the thing is, earlier you asked about, I don't really know when I want to fight or not, right? You said that?
Yeah.
Guess what? It's super simple. Can your team be as 5 right now?
No.
Can their team, based on your information that you have, be as 5 right now?
I think they can.
The only hero you see is Dawnbreaker, and that's a global hero.
She can ulti. Yeah.
So, is this a good fight? No. Like,
Yeah,
that's it.
I mean that's simple, but this is not something I think about every time.
What I'm trying to
the
tell
thing.
you, man, is that answer will naturally come by you getting better at purposely going towards teammates or away from them. Like, it will just eventually be answered for you. That's what I'm trying to show you. I'm not trying to expect you to understand this live in a game right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but how can I say that? I agree, because what you say makes sense, and this is something I feel about before.
Yeah.
Just putting words on it make it really more sense and useful.
Yeah, awesome, man. No, that's I mean, that's exactly what we're going for. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you can consider trying to contest them at Roche. I've just learned when they're able to BS5 and we're not able to BS5, it
Yeah.
just feels awful. And it sucks that like Venomancer, wasn't there, but this guy's also super farmed. He's got
The,
like a
the worst
Shiva.
part, the worst part on this, I think I was mad because Venom was not there.
Yeah. It's understandable. This guy is messing up. Let's be frank. He's messing up. He's playing top half of the map when Roche is alive. We need to be very clear that he's messing up, okay?
Yeah,
But
but me too.
but exactly. But you're not responding to his mess up correctly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what makes us better Dota players. So yeah, I'm glad you seem to have a good read on that. And it's just important that we acknowledge, like, yeah, he is fucking up. It is frustrating. We wish he would just be a Roche. But yeah. Okay. Okay, that was pretty nice moves. Yeah, at that point, looks just tough at this point. PA seems out of control.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
That's why I go all of these items. Just focused on because I feel I can kill everyone, expecting Bristle and maybe Dawnbreaker, but PA just the target to kill, and we have nothing.
yeah, I haven't played too much of Spectre since they like reverted her back to Haunt Spectre. I just think that naturally, like in the past when she was Haunt Spectre, Bloodthorn wasn't really an item on her. Like she bought it when she was the the low cooldown, whatever it's called, reality or whatever it was.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
so I guess I would just like to say that if I'm envisioning scaling on Spectre, and I may be wrong, so just take it with a grain of salt, I would think of it through durability and stats, just for my illusions and like making my haunt more impactful. So, something like, Scotty, Butterfly, Basher, stuff like this. I
but
just think, go ahead.
why those items make the illusions stronger?
What I'm trying to say is that there was a period of time where Spectre was a low cooldown hunt heroes thing, and this
Yeah.
item is only good a very small percentage of the game. You're ulting once every 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
there's like that split second that it's killing a disruptor, right? So if you think of an
So
item
you
like,
feel like
yep,
Tarask or Skadi?
yeah, just generally stat-based items that make you better at like man fighting and like if say like remember how you died to PA on the map earlier?
Yeah.
Like that's more what your hero is doing. And I know that was like really early, so that's like it's not an exact example, but I guess what I'm trying to say is with the old build where your ultimate was like a 50-second cooldown or whatever, it was like 40 seconds. Bloodthorn
Yeah.
made a
Yeah.
lot of sense because at any given moment in the game, you threaten somebody who's by themselves and they can't play in
Yeah.
that way anymore. But with this, with the reverting it back to Haunt, I just think the amount of it's like Bloodthorn might be good, but it's like a fifth item, like a sixth item, rather than a third item. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think that with heroes like Spectre, I just want you to notice that the majority of the game you're playing the map. Like that's you're just farming, you're going from wave to wave, you're dying to Tormentor. You know what I mean? I,
Okay.
I'm
Yeah, I
I'm
agree.
I'm just giving you shit about dying to Tormentor, but the point is that yeah, a lot of time in Dota we want to cater to what we're doing the majority of the time. And that's why I'm saying
Yeah.
like generally stat items on Spectre because you might even like threaten to kill a PA if you have stat items and then like an MKB later, as opposed to Bloodthorn, which is better against the non BKB supports and stuff. And obviously the PA was like a pretty huge problem in this game. I think she's just way more net worth than you now. Yeah. It's really
Yeah, a lot.
interesting because the net worth chart, like this, doesn't look nearly as bad as I think the game state says because you guys just have like this super rich support Veno, which kind of like skews the numbers. Oh, that guy died though. Sick. Okay, we're kind of back. Gonna go out on the map. So remember, we want to be farming backwards by the time they're alive. So I would still be going forwards here and then backwards. Okay, good. Great. Yeah. Up forwards here is a little scary, but we see them, so that's fine.
I put the scan.
Yeah, you scanned. It was good.
That's I don't remember.
Yeah, but somebody scanned, but the scan helped. Okay. I don't know if you're saving buyback, but you definitely need to just buy an item here. I'd be detecting like PA's way more farm than me, and I just need to buy an item. Okay, you bought it. Okay, so
Yeah, I said
you are going Scotty and Butterfly and stuff. So it's clearly you. Okay, nice, nice.
she buy back. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the buyback. You bought back. Nice. Oh,
Yeah,
that guy
but
did just what the
not
fuck?
enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if we just go in the different order here, so the way I look at it is because of the nature of Spectre's Haunt, if you go Scotty, Butterfly, then Bloodthorn, it's a better build than Bloodthorn, Scotty, Butterfly. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
I will try.
okay. It's just in general, like, I just want you to think whatever hero you're playing, what are you doing the majority of the game?
Yeah.
And if you're predominantly hunting people, then Bloodthorn's a great item. It's like an example is PL like second or third item, or like third or fourth item Bloodthorn, because once he's tanky enough to run at people, he can just, he has like a 3-second cooldown on his Phantom Rush, and he's just gonna, you know, be a menace. But with Spectre, she is limited to a 140-second cooldown. So buying a kill item that's on a 10-second cooldown doesn't really synergize that well for like a
Seems
third item.
logic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so we're right around the hour mark right now. I mean, I feel like we have some really good takeaways. Do you
Yeah.
have any final questions or thoughts that you'd like to discuss?
Maybe you can explain again the constraint
The
part.
constraint thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like right now so first off, I will be giving you notes just in case, and you'll also be able to watch this back. So always feel free to do that. But for the constraints thing is right now, you like when I watch you, if I watch these moments where you're farming from like here and you're like doing this and you're like farming the camps, and then you're farming this camp, and then you're farming the wave, like there's like textbook efficiency going there. Like you've got really good, you're walking from creep to creep, you have a good sense of how to efficiently farm that. And that's what's gotten you to this far, right? So
Yeah.
now we're trying to replicate that, but rather than only going for the most efficient farm, what I'm trying to teach you is the actual best farm is not the farm that nets you the most GPM. It's the farm that
Okay.
puts you either near your team when you want to be with them or away from them when you want to be away from them. Otherwise, you end up in unnecessary situations that result in deaths. So even if this creep wave is worth 800 gold and these two camps are worth like 400 gold, it's still inefficient, quote unquote, to go to that wave if there's a teammate there, because then you ended up dying to Ricky like a minute later. Or dying to PA a minute later. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does that make more sense? The goal is to get the highest GPM, and we're just now adding the fact that players are getting better and better. So for you to achieve that optimal GPM, you need to add this constraint. Which effectively lowers your GPM, but that's why I generally tell people, go ahead.
Not explicit, it's implicit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's not about numbers, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Precisely.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, really good.
Awesome, man. Any other final questions?
No,
Sweet.
it's good.
Awesome, man. I enjoyed this session. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, me too. Learn a lot. I'm happy.
Awesome, man. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah. See you.